Hey guys, Tony here. Let's do a quick TA on Salesforce CRM. And I'll take the time to show you guys how exactly. I mean, I've done this before, but I'll take the time to show you guys how I actually set certain support and resistance, and then what I'm gonna think about Salesforce and stuff. I love Salesforce. I think they have an extremely long life ahead of them. But recently they have been going down ever since the announcement of them buying out Slack, which I do think is pretty great on Salesforce's rap sheet and stuff, right? I mean, I do think it's a good purchase for them. Um, so I mean, if you guys haven't seen my videos, I trade based off of Confluence, and it's basically kind of like a customized version of Q Banks's Confluence. I actually trade forex on the side, which is not on the side, but I actually trade forex daily, and that's something that I don't show on my profile. So I actually bring it over from like the Confluence trading on onto stocks and stuff, right? But all it really does is you're doing is placing resistance and support on on certain wicks, right? So all this right here. So you guys see where I'm like dragging this. You're looking for wicks around the same area. Right now we're painting it on the weekly just because on the day there's a lot of noise going on the day for CRM. And it's going to take a bunch of time for me to actually look through all of this. So we'll do a quick, we'll do just like a quick way of actually how I set my price and resistance on, on the weekly chart and stuff, just because it's easier. And, the support and resistance are a lot stronger on a weekly chart as opposed to the day chart and stuff. But what you're looking for is wicks. You're not looking for candles, you're looking for wicks. You're looking for these little wicks right here where to actually place your your support and resistance lines. You're looking for where there's a bunch of crossover, where there's a lot of noise. So for example, right here we put it right here because this one and this one, that's where they touch together, the same area. Same thing down here. You guys see this wick right here? There's a small wick above this bear candle up here. So that's why you place it there. So another area is going to be right here where it's crossing this one, this one, this one, and this wick right here. So we're looking at wicks that all have like around the same crossing price range. So we'll put that weekly right there. And weekly resistance is actually a lot stronger than day resistance. I usually set my support and resistance lines on the daily chart, but because CRM has been trading sideways a lot, it just makes sense to kind of have it on the weekly, just because it's easier to see, right? So again, wick, 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 right? We're gonna place it right. We're gonna place it right here. This is like a really good spot. Well, actually, we'll do it down here just because this is, it's touching a bunch of wicks right there. Again, we'll start down here. Is there anything down here? Nope, there's nothing. If you guys see this wick right here, there's nothing close to it. So we'll move on to the next section right here, which is right these two. That's not gonna work, so we'll place it right there. And then also, I think this is gonna be our last one. Oh, actually, no, we'll do one right there. And then we'll do the last one right. Let me see. I'm going to hit the most. Can we hit this one too? Yeah, this one looks good. We'll do this right around right there. So as you guys can see, I do trade off Confluence. If you guys want to learn how to trade this way and want to have a more in-depth kind of class on this, you guys can always YouTube Confluence 2.0, and it's by Q Banks. And it works really, really well, right? I think he trades with like RSI and a bunch of other indicators and stuff, where I just kind of have it customized to trade with the MACD just because it works for me. I think the MACD works relatively well on stocks as opposed to forex. On forex, it's something completely else. On forex, I actually trade the RSI on top of the Bollinger Bands. So that's not something that I'm going to go into. But as far as stocks go, because they move a lot slower, the MACD actually provides momentum. So a lot of this is trading on Confluence, also on top of momentum. The MACD that's all it tracks, right? It just tracks momentum, and that's usually what I play. There's no other, it's just there's no other instance of that, right? But let's get into Salesforce. I mean, as far as fundamentals go, they are not, Salesforce is not a bad company. Salesforce is a great company, and there's no reason for them to be all the way down here. I do think, as far as fundamentals go, I do think Salesforce is absolutely, killing it. And the drawdown that they recently saw, I do think it's not. I don't think, right. It's gonna be because of the Slack purchase. So a lot of people are moving towards to CRM because of the Slack purchase, and that's why the price went down. And it's kind of crappy because just looking at the chart right now, it looks, on the month chart we are looking still bullish. We're starting to go on the bearish side, and then on the week chart you guys can see the same. We actually just crossed over on the week side for the bullish chart, which kind of sucks because usually when CRM does hit crossover on the week MACD, you guys can easily see here that we're what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around 5 weeks on a downturn as soon as it crosses. So we've been bearish ever since, 1, 2, 3. So we have been bearish for about 4 weeks now, about a month. I do think that we're going to stay bearish, and we're going to go all the way down to 208. But it really depends on the movement. See, right now movement is still bearish. There's a lot of gaps that need to be filled. Like, look at this gap right here. This huge gap between 239 and 228. There's a bunch of gaps that need to be filled. There's a lot of, look at this huge gap all the way down to, what price is this? Huge gap down in 218. So I'm a heavy believer that all gaps are going to get filled. So I do think, as of right now, we actually just retested. Just retested on the day chart. We retested the 228 level, and we didn't break it. So I do think that right now, I mean, we're gonna be headed down. I would not be, I would not be surprised if we just do this. If we do this, I would not be surprised if this happens, this week. As of right now, I'm long term, I am bullish on Salesforce, but as far as short term right now, a couple of weeks, maybe another month, I am 100%, I'm 100% bearish. There's no reason to not buy puts right now. And then when it actually hits at 208, when it actually hits this level, I'm like 95% sure that we're going to go down to 208. And you guys can kind of like go back to this video, come back to this like a month from now, or even like a week or two, and then just kind of see where we are. But I do think this is exactly what's going to happen. I do think CRM is going to go all the way down to 208. And then when it actually does hit 208, this price point, then we can come back, look at the chart again, see where the momentum is, see if it actually retested on the 208 level, how many times it retested, and then see if we're going to actually purchase. But if I were going to be buying, CRM, I would definitely be doing it at 208. I would not be buying right now at 228. I definitely wait for another drop to 208. And even right now, you guys have seen that, it's been creating lower lows. So created a lower low, right here, another one right here, another one right here. And I do think this is going to be another higher low being created at the 228 level, and it's going to drop to 208, possibly $200. So as of right now, I'm 100% bearish on CRM. Long term, I'm bullish. I mean, there's on the 4 hour, you guys can see that the bearish market is weakening a little bit. But even right now, you guys can see on the hour chart, we just crossed the hour chart on the bullish momentum, and it didn't shoot up. It was consolidating and kept retesting this $228 level. 100% we're gonna go back down. I'm like, after seeing that hour chart, I'm like 99% sure we're gonna see 208. I'm already 99% sure we're gonna see 208, and I would probably be buying puts at this $228 level on Monday. I'd probably buy puts like 2 weeks out, and then when it hits that level of 208, I'd cash out. Look at the momentum, look at the charts again, and if it's starting to go back up to the upside, then I would probably buy calls, maybe like a little bit longer dated calls, because it always takes longer to go back up, than to go down. So as of right now, Salesforce, 100% bearish. I wholeheartedly expect it to go back down to $208. And then once we are at 208, we can go back to the chart, we can kind of assess the sentiment, and then we can, place your swing trades or your options or your longs, whatever you're going to do, right? You can short the market. I don't like shorting markets because, stocks only go up. So, I guess for TA, this is probably going to be it. Yeah, it's looking extremely bearish, guys. Like I wouldn't buy. I mean, if you're doing Salesforce long term, buy at any price you want. Doesn't matter because you're long term, right? You expect Salesforce to double, triple from here. But if you are swing trading, if you are doing anything else, then I fully expect us to what is it called? I fully expect us to retest on this 208, and then possibly, after the 208 goes, that's the only place where I would actually hit my swing trade. So if we do see if we do hit the 208, and if it's retesting we go back to previous highs, that's that's a 30% gain. That's a 60 point move, a little bit higher, but that's a 30% gain. So if you're if you're swing trading about, $10,000, that's a $3,000 gain. And usually, let me see how long it took for us to hit this jump. I mean, last time for this jump to hit, it actually took about a week. On average, on average, I think if we were to hit, this level over here, and we were to go, retest 208 and then go back, usually I try to do averages on previous runs. So, we'll go from here to the high, right? So this took about, let me see. This took about almost like 2 weeks, right? You can see this took like 3 weeks. So this actually took 3 weeks to actually hit. So, if we had to double that, I'd say if we are going to actually hit this point, fully expect to hit, if we go back down to 208, fully expect to hit the 270 at its earliest a month out. If we are going to go back to 270, everything turns on the bullish side, minimum, buy a swing trade at 208, you're going to expect it to hit, the 270 again, minimum a month out. To be safe, I'd probably bet on like a month and a half or 2 months out that 270 will hit. Again, we're super volatile in 2020, so this can happen in like a day or two. You guys can see this jump in like a day or two, right? But just going by recent averages and recent bull runs on Salesforce, I would expect this, if you guys are going to swing trade at 208, don't expect to hit this high of 270, for another month or two if you actually buy in at 208. But if you guys want to see any more, if you guys watch me till the end of this video, click the like button on YouTube if you guys are still watching, or follow me, subscribe, whatever. And if you guys want me to do more TA on other ones, just let me know, and I'll start doing more TAs on other tickets that you guys want. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.